My name is Jess Servion, and I'm super excited to bring you my new podcast, The Juice with Jess. This podcast is going to be about everything in your customer's journey. We're talking acquisition, awareness, making that purchase, retaining that customer, bringing them back around, and everything in between. This is going to be all about delivering dope brand experiences and talking to some really amazing people who are in the customer experience space, the marketing space, and everything in between. Welcome back to another episode of The Juice with me, Jess. This week, I have Bella and Dallin Lambert, who are... We have a really interesting story of how we know each other. They're some of my nearest and dearest friends, but they are also... I hate calling you guys this, but you guys are influencers.
Oh, I'll plug my ears if you say that.
You guys are influencers. I mean, what do you call yourselves?
Creators.
Oh my God. I ruined that.
Fun, right?
Yeah, they're content creators, and I love content. So anyway, without further ado, I would love, like, Bella, Dallin, tell the audience a little bit about yourselves. I mean, you guys have like a massive following now, like 3 million on YouTube. Like, there's a lot to cover there, man. Just tell them about yourselves.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to say or do you want me to?
You start and I'll jump in.
All right. So our YouTube channel is Della Vlogs, and we started it just for fun, basically around COVID. We just made like goofy videos, and then as we started to grow, we decided to do a lot more lifestyle content and just like filming every day of our lives. We actually did one period of time where we filmed every single day for 6 months. And that's like the biggest time that we started to really see some growth. And then we went through a whole infertility journey, and we decided to document it and share it because not a lot of people talk about it. And we felt very alone in that journey. And so we're like, you know what? We should share it. And so we started sharing that, and we gained a following of people in the infertility community. And it was actually amazing because throughout all of our infertility treatments, we had a community of people cheering us on and wishing us the best and giving us tips. That was so nice, is like having people to talk to. And then as time went on, we...
Wait, let me say this. This is my favorite.
Okay.
As time went on, we ended up going through the adoption route, and then we adopted a little baby, and... She's the best thing ever.
We adopted our daughter, Story.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
She's very beautiful.
Thank you.
We were literally just talking about how it's really funny because Story, even though she's not biological, actually looks like you.
I know.
It's so wild.
It is. It's really crazy.
We get to her serendipity.
She's awesome, though. She's just
the best.
She's our little world. And then, so now we kind of just document parent life. We enjoy traveling. Yeah, we took Story on our first international trip, 2 of them actually in the last month. And so we want to continue to travel and just document our life. I mean, Bella and I do a lot of unique, cool things, we feel like. And so it's fun to make videos around those and share them with, the world essentially.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on. And honestly, selfishly, the reason I wanted you guys to come on, because this is a podcast about like customer journeys and acquisition and retention and e-commerce, right? But I think what's really interesting, and we talk a lot about like marketing and influencer marketing and all these, and content marketing, like all these aspects, right? But what we don't ever really talk about is the influencer side of that, though, right? Yeah. Like the brand deals, like the side that like the expectations for y'all to like produce content, right? And and what's really interesting now too is I'm actually starting to see a lot of like e-commerce brands, pick up in doing more content creation, right? Like really doing that creator kind of world of like creating really like dope content about their product or like vlogging or any of those things of like the founder journey.
Yeah.
But also the second thing that I'm seeing, and Ridge Wallets is a good example of this, people bringing on influencers on staff, right? To be the content creators in-house.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I mean, let's just start.
Unique angle.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think it's a really unique angle. And so like, honestly, that's kind of where I wanted to start. But before we get there, because we did promise to say this. So how I even know Bella and Dallin.
It's kind of a crazy story.
It is a crazy. Well, so let's actually start there, right? Like, I would love to, like, on your perspective. So how I met them is because in the past life, I know I talk about this frequently, but I started customer experience at Feastables which also was winner experience. And Dallin won the golden ticket in the Mr. Beast bars and was also the winner of the Chocolate Factory.
Let's go.
It's like so crazy just saying that.
I know. And what you see on TV is like, this, I forget how long that video is, maybe like 10, 15 minutes. You see the 10, 15 minutes of the video of like Dallin like winning the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
But what you don't see is the fact that we had to spend 2 weeks in Greenville in a hotel. Holed up for 4 days because it was like during COVID, like coming off of COVID.
The quarantine.
Quarantining. That's what
gosh.
And production and the backside of it, just like production of it,
You drop food off at our door every day.
I was a good winter experience.
You were. You really were.
Jess pretty much saved that whole experience because leading up to the filming, it wasn't enjoyable. I mean, we were stuck in a hotel, which wasn't the nicest hotel. But you did an incredible job.
Yeah.
Keeping the spirits high.
Hospitality,
got
baby.
us good food.
The hospitality, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Would recommend.
Experience. Incredible.
I know.
But what's also interesting, while I was filming, and sometimes I would be gone for like 2 hours filming a set, you two were in this little room, the green
getting
room.
attacked by flies because we were in a chocolate factory that was melting.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes. It was so hot.
Yeah.
What was that? August in Greenville. It was June.
Yeah, middle of summer.
Greenville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
At the Chocolate Factory, the Feastables Chocolate Factory.
It was so fun, though. We had such a good time.
Looking back, it was awesome.
So many memories. So many things we talk about all the time. We're just like, can you believe that happened? I just can't believe, first of all, that we got a golden ticket.
Yeah.
That was the craziest thing because I know there was so many people that entered. Like everybody was entering to try and get a golden ticket. And then Dallin, I call him the lucky Lambert because he is literally the luckiest person I have ever met. Like if we go anywhere that has like a raffle or anything, he enters and he wins somehow. I don't understand.
Your luck.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, side note, we went to this like charity gala and there was like everybody put in their number to win these earrings. They were $10,000 diamond earrings. Dallin won them and gave them to me.
Okay, are you wearing these today?
No, I don't wear them. I'm like, can you believe that?
I know.
I couldn't believe I won that ticket and then I won the whole thing.
Yeah,
which
that was
still blows
so wild. Well, knowing you guys and knowing how like kind you guys are to like other people and just I think you guys are really deserving of like winning really amazing things. But I mean, I think that was a really crazy experience. I think honestly, and I don't think a lot of people realize like the production that it takes that goes into content producing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like even on y'all's end, like a 5-minute reel or like how long are your actually not even a reel, like how long are your YouTube videos usually?
I think they average from like 10 to 12 minutes.
But what's like the hours of production to that?
Yeah, so many.
That's a good question. I probably send to our editor probably an hour to an hour and a half of footage.
Yeah. Then it dials it down.
Down to 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes not so much, but that's like kind of my goal. I've learned that the more footage,
it's better to have more than less.
To let him have his creative flow, and you never wish you had, or you always wish you had more. You never had that. Yeah. So, but anyway, so then I mean, our editor spends I don't know sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I would say 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
Putting together the first rough cut.
Yeah.
And then he sends it to me and then, so it's a very big production to put out a 10-minute video.
Yeah. Even like just a simple vlog, right?
Yeah. Which is mostly what we do.
Right. Like how many cameras do you guys use?
Well, to be honest, I try and only use one, to be honest.
Yeah.
With the vlog, because it gets more complicated with the more that we use.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I'll always try and fly a drone, get a perspective.
GoPro, though.
A GoPro, things like that. So, I mean, there's probably like 3 or 4 different cameras that we send over.
Yeah.
But, we always have like our main camera.
Yeah. I think it's just so crazy because it's like what I think is really interesting is the creator economy in general, okay, right? Like, or just creator world in general, right? And how you can like monetize, like, and I'm not going to go into like specifics on those things, but I mean, it kind of goes into like the questions that I do want to ask you, like being the creators on the other end, because I don't want to use influencers, and I apologize for using that in the beginning. But like going on the other end, right? Like the other end of influencer marketing, right? Like how do brands approach you to like do ad space or sponsor a video, like any of that? Like what's that process look like from like your perspective?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I feel like, well, first of all, we've learned a lot. Like, I feel like we kind of just like, we're rapidly growing and learning as we're going. So it's like, we have learned a lot. And in the beginning, it was just brands reaching out to us directly. Mm-hmm. But as we've grown, we've signed on with management that helps manage everything for us. And we like to really be nitpicky about the brands that we work with. Mm-hmm. I think like the first thing about a brand for us is we want to make sure it's something that we actually use or something that we can receive the product and try it out for a little bit before we actually talk about it. I think that's the most important thing. But do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah. And then I would just say, I mean, what happens is then our management approaches us. We kind of talk over the deal, the product, kind of the deliverables that the brand wants. And then kind of from there, we negotiate everything. And then we kind of put together a package on, we'd be willing to do this.
Yeah.
And for this type of monetary gain. And then, kind of come to agreements. And then we execute the brand deal at that point.
Yeah. I think you guys hit on the one point though, to make sure it aligns with your values.
Yes.
Because I think if you think about it from like a brand's perspective, right? Like let's say you were like slanging like, I don't know, a curling iron. Well, a curling iron is not a good example. I don't know. Maybe like a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, Dallin, I know you're a dad. Right. Okay. You probably have
back to my lawnmowers here.
Okay. Okay. I won't. But my point is though, is like, it's not necessarily content that you always create, right? Like you're not going to create content about a lawnmower, right?
Yeah.
And like, and it's not even just about values. It's like value on the, like on both the creators end, but also the brands end too, like.
I know right away whether the brand or the deal is going to do well for the brand.
Right.
Like immediately. I mean, if they try and pitch us a lawnmower, I know that if we promote that on our channel, it's not going to perform well for that company.
Right.
And so to be honest, we feel bad doing something like that for the brand's for the brand. Right. They're going to pay us. And I know deep down that they're not going to get a lot of nothing in return for it because that's not our audience.
Right.
And so I
feel like we have a good gauge on our audience. Like we know our audience. Yeah. I feel like we know what they want to see and what they're interested in. And we keep we really try to make sure that we know like our audience. And so I feel like to your point, we do know like things that they would receive well and things that they might not be interested in at all. So
Right. Well, I think that's really important on both ends, right? Like a brand deal end, like whether for like the creator or the brand, right? It's values of the products. And like, if you guys like utilize that product and can you genuinely and authentically say like, I'm going to use this shampoo, right?
Yeah.
But it's also aligning with the right audience. I think time and time again, like, and because listen, like I'm not a creator. I mean, I'm creating, but like, I'm not a creator. I don't live fully on that world, right? I live more on the marketing world. And so like time and time again, I see brands created like doing UGC, user generated content, right? Yep. And like getting into these like kind of deals with these like micro or macro influencers. And like, actually, this is a really funny one. A wellness brand that I've seen, the influencer couldn't even pronounce colostrum.
Oh no.
When creating the content.
Tough.
So it's like, then like the audience isn't going to buy that this woman is slanging colostrum because she couldn't even pronounce it. You know what I mean?
Gosh.
Yeah. I just think too, like the audience knows.
Right.
They've been watching.
They ain't dumb.
They're not dumb.
Yeah.
They, a majority of them have been watching Bella and I for years. And it's like, they know us. They've seen the products we use, the stuff we promote. I mean, I come out randomly and say, I love this lawnmower. Like, Dad, you got fake grass. You've never, like they know.
Yeah. Like, bro, you live in Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. It's desert.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that just like that, though, I see a lot of creators out there that do stuff like that and try and just fake it till you make it. And I'm like, yeah, that's not working out.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah. I think it's authenticity.
Yeah.
It's authenticity in like in any aspect. Like, whether you have a brand, you're a software company, or you're the creator, like slanging it, whatever it is, like authenticity sells,
right.
Yeah. you can't lie to your audience. And I think that that's a valuable lesson to like, even just like in partnerships, right?
Yeah. We try and hold very true to that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's like values is not just
and I can say like even during our whole infertility journey, I was always taking supplements on supplements, like certain supplements that were like good for fertility. And I remember during that time, we had a brand reach out to us that wanted to work with us. It was a supplement that was for fertility. And I wasn't actually taking it. And I knew that we have a whole community of people who are going through
very well.
Yeah, it would have performed incredibly because if I'm promoting it, I'm going through my infertility journey, like people would probably trust that. And I just didn't feel good about promoting that because I wasn't actually taking it for my fertility journey. And so I actually turned that one down. I just feel like it's important like to respect also whoever's being the person that's consuming the content because it's like they're going through a hard thing too. I don't want to say I'm using something when I'm not, especially when it comes to fertility.
Yeah.
So
I remember that. That was hard to turn down because
sometimes it's hard to turn those things down, but it's always better.
Definitely better.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it comes down to values and authenticity, you know, on just like both ends. Like it's not always about money. It's about like what rhymes well with your audience.
Totally.
I actually have an interesting question that I was just like thinking about. So like your channels have grown so much and so rapidly in like the last couple of years, right? And like, and I think this might be a little bit of a hard question, but like, or maybe not. Like, if I'm thinking about, I'm a brand, right? Like I'm a brand and I want to go and work with and like do affiliate or influencer marketing, right? That I want to align myself with like individuals who like have values and all these other things. But on the other side of it, like I'm also thinking about like, how do those creators think about like building like loyalty to their channels? And so what I'm curious is like, and it's not necessarily a tactic question, but like, how do you research and understand your audience to know what like actually hits with them? Besides just looking at the comments, are there any other like things that you like do to like really truly understand that community?
Yeah. I think like the biggest thing is we can see all the analytics, right? So we can see, first of all, what videos perform well. So maybe we know like their interests of like, oh, they like when we travel more than when we do like at home videos or whatever. Also, we could see in the back end the age range. And also we have a more of a female audience rather than a male audience. You can see the range on there. And so I feel like I know automatically that if I promote something, maybe skincare, hair, something that females are more typically interested in, we could see that on the back end and we know that that might perform a little bit better. Also, I feel like because we specifically went through infertility and adoption, those are two things that we know that are some of our top performing videos that people are heavily interested in. And so for us, we know like things that can fit into that niche, like people are interested in because they're also walking those journeys as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like a lot of our audience is similar to us in real life. And so I kind of see in our audience like ourselves. And so I know like if I'm actually interested in this, I feel like people will also connect with it as well. And stuff that we use daily, people are interested in.
I know you said besides comments, but I think that's like a massive thing.
That is a big thing.
And I think it's like a review of
Absolutely.
of every product or video that we put out. But then even on top of that, like I try and just engage in messages on Instagram. I think that's huge. I think it means a lot to our audience when they get a message back from us. Yeah. So we're always trying to just communicate with them. You know, they'll show their feelings of how much they like a video or how much they relate to certain things. And so just engaging with them in any way through messages, comments, even just liking a comment, I know goes a long ways.
Goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know,
just trying to interact in any way possible with them. Get a feel for, you know. And it's what's so interesting is we'll put out videos or we'll put out a video that I don't think is going to perform well. But all of a sudden it just hits, you know, that right audience and they love it and it performs very well. Yeah. I would have never known. Yeah. And so it's just
sometimes we're surprised.
Yeah.
We're like, wow, people are really interested in this. So we should post more about this topic. They like it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes down to like consistency and engagement for sure. And I think that same rule applies for like anybody growing, like whether it's their founder journey or their individual creator journey or brand journey. It's like you don't just like put up the stuff and just leave it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's as you grow, you got to engage because that also feeds the algorithm.
Totally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How do you even figure out the algorithm?
The algorithm,
Like of any of these channels, you know?
oh my gosh, I wish I knew, right? It's like, it's always changing, especially like the hard thing as a creator is we're not only doing YouTube, we're doing TikTok, we're doing Instagram. We have multiple Instagram accounts that we're running, like our Della Vlogs account and our personal accounts. And it's like, it's constant, like keeping up with all the content on there. It's a lot. And the algorithm, like especially on YouTube and TikTok, it's like, who even knows? Like,
I think though that a lot of creators get caught up in the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think you worry about that. You just try and put out an authentic video that's good, the best video you can make. You know, we make a travel vlog. I try and just create the best travel vlog possible.
Right.
And let YouTube do its thing. You know, YouTube wants to push good videos, and they see that if a lot of people are interacting with the video, it's going to start reaching more and more. I see a lot of creators that are like, I'm banned from the algorithm. And then I watch their video and I'm like, actually, that's really not why you're not getting views. I hate to tell you, like it's not a good video.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the algorithm.
You're like,
yeah. Or, and so I just think that don't get caught up in the whole algorithm.
Yeah.
Just put out a good, authentic video. You know what your audience wants to see.
Yeah.
You know what they like, and let the platforms do the rest.
yeah.
Do you guys ever dig into it? Like this question just came to me. Like, do you ever dig into like SEO of like YouTube? Because even for myself, like I can't even figure it out.
Yeah.
You know,
it
just hits or it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically that.
It's that. Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think there's a real science to it.
I don't think so either. I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean,
Because you look at some of the biggest YouTubers talk about it and they say the same thing. Like they don't even have the method or the science.
but I think the science and the method, and this applies to anybody doing content at all, right? Like I don't care if you're a business or you're an individual, it's consistency and engagement.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
I mean, sorry, I cut you off, but like that's in my opinion, like what drives.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also keeping up with the times, like keeping up with the trends. Like if we were still filming the same content that we were doing 2 years ago, I don't think we'd be growing.
No, I know.
I feel like we're just constantly changing our content and seeing what works and trying to keep up with the times and the trends.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I've seen other YouTubers that don't keep up, that are like really big in one era. They crush one thing, and then that trend kind of dies off and they can't evolve into a new one, and they continue doing that same trend and it just kind of dies out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're constantly evolving and things are constantly changing. And not bring up Mr. Beast again, but he was just on a podcast talking about how he's always been very fast-paced videos, and now he's noticed he's slowing things down a lot.
Yeah.
And there's like this new shift of a little slower video. So when you watch it, you're not getting a big headache, and if he's not evolving, and I like use that in our content, you just always have to constantly evolve as things change.
We're constantly critiquing ourselves in our videos, like watching them back and like seeing like, oh, maybe if we would have done this, it would have done better. Then we try it in the next video and we're like, oh, that did well. Let's keep doing that. So it's always evolving.
I agree. And I think that those methods of like consistency, engagement, and evolving, and putting it down as like tactics to say is it actually breaks it down to like be more digestible for anybody who's scared to create content. And again, it's not just individually, it's like also for the brand too, right? Like, cause I personally think like flipping the script, like not even just an individual creator. I think that like the brands that are the most successful are creating content now. They're like going viral on TikTok. Yeah. They're utilizing TikTok Shop to sell their products, or Instagram or YouTube, or like doing YouTube shorts and like all these things. But the same rules apply, whether you're individual or if you're a brand. Like it's consistency, it's engagement, and it's pivoting and constantly like reiterating.
Right.
Yeah.
Imagine if we were on TikTok still doing the dances.
I know. Dude, can you imagine?
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's constantly changing.
Yeah.
People you just wouldn't do well.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Man, that's so crazy that you guys started doing this in COVID. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, we did. It was kind of, we had done a little bit of stuff before that, but that was kind of like our big pivotal moment of where we were going to really dive deep in.
We had a lot of time to just be like, well, let's just make some videos and dancing videos.
Yeah, we didn't watch those. I don't dance. Please don't go back and watch any of those. I cringe.
Are they still up?
Probably. They're out
Oh
there
my gosh,
somewhere.
I'm going to dig some of those up.
I cringe. They're terrible.
Oh, dude.
Bella would make me dance.
Oh, man. Your CX is so great. That phrase is so last season at this point, because at Customer, we believe in delivering incredible customer experiences. Introducing KIQ Agent Assist, the ultimate CX team AI sidekick built on our CRM to give agents superhero capabilities and efficiency. When building KIQ Agent Assist, we had goals: get rid of long customer wait times and increase the speed of customer resolution. Provide the CS team with real-time data for personalized prompts. Delegate mundane tasks for AI and free up your agents. But we didn't stop there. We wanted to deliver more. Check out KIQ Agent Assist amazing features: the suggested responses, the automatic two-way translation in 53 languages, and conversation summaries. Upgrade your customer experience with KIQ Agent Assist. Try it today and see the difference. Customer, delivering incredible CX every time. Going back to what Bella, what you were saying though, like both of you were saying, is like it is also like following what's trendy, right? So like what I noticed like on my individual stuff, and this is actually really funny, and why again there's no secret sauce to it. It's consistency and engagement, right? So on my individual stuff on Instagram, I did like a reel, and I actually posted it on my private page, but I like did a collaboration with my my professional page, and it got like over 2,000 views, right? But like then I flipped it and did it on my professional page and did the collaboration like for another one.
Yeah.
Right.
Did the collaboration with my private page, and I got like maybe 600 views.
Interesting.
That's interesting how
Right?
that works.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be like, I'm actually experimenting. That's why I'm like bringing this up, because I'm experimenting from an individual level to like just understand content marketing even more further
Right.
on like understanding the sauce. Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
it's SEO or the keywords or the topics or collaborating or tagging cities, like all this stuff. But it's just like, if something hits, it just hits.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's totally like there's just no rhyme or reason. I feel like sometimes it's just like the most random things will go viral for us. And
That's why I also say just put everything out there.
Yeah.
People critique their own content so much. That's how you're going to learn, and that's how you're going to grow. Just put out this video and put out this one and this reel and this short, and see what you see where it goes.
Yeah.
See what your audience resonates with, and then kind of build off of that.
Yeah. Well, going back to like just brand and stuff, I want to talk a little bit about like affiliate marketing, right? Like, I mean, granted, I know like you guys have like a big following now, but I'm curious, like when you first were starting out, and I don't know if you've done this, but like, you know, if you had like a brand deal, right? And then you shared like a link for like 10% off or whatever, what's like, and again, this isn't about like secret sauce, but I'm just curious about the things that you've learned from then of like doing affiliate and influencer marketing for a brand versus now. Like, what are like maybe the top 2 things that you think that you've done differently to help be successful for those brand deals?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
that's a good question.
Yeah.
You do one and I'll do one.
You start.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's just always, it's ever changing. Like the whole brand deal space, it's
Right.
just constantly changing. And I remember when we first started out, just like I would be excited if we got sent a free t-shirt, you know, and I would want to post all about it. And so it's like, I feel like we right now have just tried to find brands that we're really excited about, that we want to work with. And then like we just, I don't know, we get excited to collaborate with the brands that we love. And then, I don't know. This is kind of a difficult question.
Ooh, did I stump you?
us, I
I
think.
think so.
What do you think? Tell us.
How we've evolved.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
understanding. Okay, so we're talking about like understanding your audience, like
Yeah.
what hits and stuff, right? I'm sure when you began, you probably were like, oh yeah, like at least Dallin, right? Dallin versus Bella even, right? Like, oh, let's do more masculine stuff versus feminine stuff.
Yeah.
And now you're realizing your audience is more female, right? So now you're like,
Yeah.
okay, so Bella, you're probably like, oh, let's maybe talk about like stories, outfits, or, you know, like, I don't know, or like the dad content now.
I just think like looking back at the very beginning brand deals that we did, we just weren't selective on you know, like anything that came our way, we were about it. It excited us.
It was very exciting.
You know, it felt cool to go on there and talk about a product and maybe receive some money or just a free product even was a cool thing. So I think anything that came our way, we were down to do it.
Yeah.
Where now it's a lot more selective on those products, which we talked about earlier.
Definitely. Yeah. I feel like maybe it's because we also noticed like when we would promote just like absolutely anything, I feel like our content suffered because people could see if it's authentic or not.
Yeah.
And it's not that we were promoting just like absolutely anything. It was mostly just like, you know, I feel like now we're just way more selective. And like before it was just like, I don't know, it was an exciting time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I think there's a lot to be learned from even that statement about being selective, right?
Yeah.
Even on your end of being selective and a brand being selective, right? It's like again, it goes back to the UGC story that I was saying where it was like like a micro influencer couldn't even say colostrum correctly, right?
Yeah.
And so like that's like gearing up, or not gearing up, but like working with somebody who maybe like doesn't understand that brand, right? But she's probably not being selective because she wants to take all the deals. And then the brand also is looking to do like anything and everything for UGC, but it's important to be selective over the people that you're working with to produce authentic content.
I think also something that we have changed is at the very beginning, we were a lot more, how can I put it? You know, like, so when there's a brand deal, the brand kind of puts on, you know, they kind of have requirements for us. Where now, let me think here. Edit this out. Let me gather my thoughts.
Yeah, you're fine.
How can I say this? You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't know.
Where like whenever we have like posting requirements, where now we give ourselves more creative freedom. You know, like if the brand said you need to do this, this, and this, we were like, yes, we're down to do it. But now it's like, hey, we know our audience a little better. Let us have a little more creative freedom.
Yeah.
No, is that good or no?
No, I get what you're saying. I absolutely get what you're saying. So like basically what you're saying is you have a little bit more, it's not even necessarily a creative freedom. It's just, you know, your audience a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know your audience a little bit better and like you're just a little bit more in your game of like understanding your content. So it's like, it's not even just about like authenticity. It's about also the partnership of it too.
Yeah. Maybe edit that out. I don't know.
No.
I don't know if that was good or not, whatever.
I feel like I also like now with brands, I like to look at the long term. Like I'm like, okay, if this brand that I am excited to work with, I want to make them want to work with me again. And so I want to just crush the brand deal so then I can have like a long-term partnership with that specific brand. Rather than jumping to a bunch of brands, I feel like I'd rather work with one brand for a year that I love than like 10 brands. And so that's where my brain is at right now is like, how do I find those brands that I love? How can I work with those brands? And I can just like have like a long-term relationship with that brand.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good point. I mean, it's the same thing that you were saying, Dallin, too. Like, it's not even just about the creative freedom. It's just like, you know, the audience and you're on your end, you want to make it like a really good partnership. So you're not going to partner with a brand that you can't have like long-term success with. You're not going to just take a deal to take the deal. Like you're going to like, can I deliver on your posting requirements, but also can I have a little bit of a creative freedom to like do a little bit more, you know?
Yeah.
And then like, and what you were saying, Bella, like the partnership piece of it, I think that's so important with like anybody who's listening to this and looking for like the flip side, right?
Yeah.
Like, the core of what we're talking about is like strong partnerships and relationships with the individuals that are like representing your product and vice versa too.
Also, I think it goes a long way when like a brand, if they reach out to us, sometimes I feel like there's just like a lot of brands that reach out to like every influencer, but I can tell when a brand is intentional and they like will reach out to us and be like, hey, I saw that you just adopted a baby. Here's this, you know? And it's like, wow, that's like, that goes a long way for me.
Nothing is worse than when you get an email and they forget to change out the name from the previous influencer that they just, and I'm like, I don't even respond.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that happen, which I understand, like mistakes happen and it's fine. And if in the email they talk about us and that's like their only mistake, okay, it's fine. But I can just tell when it's just a copy paste email and they just blasted it out to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't, it doesn't really.
It doesn't resonate with you.
No, it doesn't resonate, and it doesn't work with kind of what we have going on.
Yeah. Well, these people, like, I wouldn't say these people, but a lot of times, like, the tactics of, like, influencer marketing is just, like, spamming as many people as possible, going down the list as many people as possible, right? Yeah. And again, like, mistakes can happen, but it's so important, again, that when you're creating a partnership, you're being intentional about it. Like, slow down, take a moment to be like, okay, Bella and Dallin just adopted story. Like, let me say at least one sentence about this. So it's like, they'll even pick your deal,
Totally.
And it's not to say, and I just want to be very clear because I know we're really talking about it from the other end. It's not that like y'all are being picky necessarily. Like it's just about like authenticity.
Yeah.
Like, you're
exactly.
Like, I know y'all, so like, I know this does not come from a place of ego, it comes from a place from like, you want to be authentic. Authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's exactly it.
I just feel like those brands resonate more with us. Like, and they just feel intentional.
So what I'm curious about is, as you guys are creating your content, are there any influencers or creators out there? Are there any creators out there that inspire you? On your videos, like who inspires you?
That's a good question.
I really like, there's these creators called Kara and Nate on YouTube. I just love their style of content. They do such cool videos, and just like watching their content is so interesting. I feel like they're just like so down to earth. And every time I watch their videos, I'm like, I just love them.
They're full-time travelers.
Yeah, they're full-time
travelers. So as we're kind of doing more traveling, we take inspo from them. Yeah, they're awesome. They make great videos.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other filmmakers out there too.
Oh, filmmakers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which we're not, like, our videos aren't filmmaking. They're more vlog. Yeah. But I've been trying to learn a lot about and get inspo from those filmmakers to just incorporate a little bit. Like, I like
yours.
Yeah, let's hear.
Dallin's is Sam Kolder.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fan. He's a big favorite out there.
Ever since we were like first married, Dallin's always talked about how much he admires Sam Kolder, and I mean, I did too. His content is incredible.
Yeah, for sure. He makes some incredible videos.
Peter McKinnon too?
Yeah, I like Peter McKinnon as well.
Yeah.
Great photo and video guy.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them out there where I try and pull pieces from
the Bucket List family.
Yeah, Bucket List family.
Bella has a lot.
I know. I have like, I don't know. I admire anyone who goes online, shares something with intention and heart, because you can just like feel it. It goes such a long way when you're just yourself. I feel like sometimes like I'll scroll TikTok and I'll say like, I'll see 10 of the same video. And I'm like, if these people would only be themselves, like this video would do so much better. But I see people just doing the same thing over and over. And I mean, I'm sure I'm guilty of that at some point too. But it's just like, I've noticed that when people are intentional, you feel it and you resonate with it so much more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, authenticity sells, on whichever end of the scope, right? I do agree with you. Filmmaking is really what inspires me too.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I wanted to be a music video director.
Oh, no way.
That's so cool.
You should direct one of Bella's music videos.
You want to direct one?
No, you said.
I think you wouldn't like my work, but I'll try. We can do it for funsies.
We'll do it for fun.
But no, I wanted to be, I wanted to direct music videos, and God, this is probably going to end up to be a short. I had a camcorder when I was younger. I like begged for a camcorder.
Yep.
And I would like film all my friends, and like, listen, I'm very old. I'm not old, but like I'm much older than y'all. Okay. And back in my day,
oh my God,
on my boombox, we would play on the radio, and then we would press record to record the song. And I would like literally sit down and plan my like what songs I was going to record.
It's amazing.
And then I would make my friends go and act out music videos to the songs. So like,
you know what? We would have been friends, because I used to do stuff like that too all the time.
I wish.
My mom still has my old videos that I made with my brothers.
Yeah.
Bella laughs because she's seen them.
They're
But
so
I had the VHS tape. I'd put in that thing, and we go film anything and
He would be a
everything.
cowboy.
Dude.
Oh yeah, we did cowboy videos and our everything.
Yeah,
I loved
awesome.
it. I still love it.
I love creating content.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
amazing.
really do. On any type of aspect. Like, I mean, I know we're talking about like influencer marketing, right? Here, but like, and on the other end of it, but I just think content is just so fun.
It is.
To take a flat photo and make it into motion and like to build like the emotional journey of it. Like that's why I loved music videos so much.
Yeah.
Probably why you loved like cowboys, you know what
yeah.
I mean?
All of
Like,
it. Yeah.
because it's just so fun.
It is so fun. Like we really are just so grateful that we get to do this. It's so cool that we have this following, but like I feel like even if we didn't have a following, we would just be posting videos because we just genuinely love it. It's
Yeah.
so fun.
And not only that, but just capturing the memories,
We watch our videos back all the time and we're like, I'm so glad we have this because such a good memory.
put out a video about.
Dude, I did not listen to my podcast back.
No,
None of them.
that's funny.
One day you might.
I know.
No, but in like a couple years,
Yeah.
you will. I promise. You're gonna look back on this like, wow, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Sitting here chatting.
Just chatting.
Yeah,
I love
Just
it.
chit
I
chat.
think you will for sure.
No, for sure. I think I don't know. But yeah, no. But going back to actually watching your stuff back and critiquing to how you can like be just 10% better.
Yeah.
is how you produce like really
Oh, for
good
sure.
content.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know. Okay, one more question, and then I actually want to completely switch gears for a second.
Yes.
What's the best PR box you've ever gotten?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
this is huge.
And you cannot say
It's the golden
Feastables.
ticket.
No, you cannot.
Bella's, I don't get a lot of PR packages. Bella mostly gets them. But when they come and there's some epic ones,
Yeah.
they're cool.
The unboxing experience and good PR boxes
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
so sick.
Which I want to talk to you about off camera because I know you're a genius with that stuff.
I would say, honestly, Tristan Akaika, he does some of the coolest PR boxes, and I felt honored to get one of his PR boxes. But he does like when the box like opens, it like drops open. There's like a rose in this like little like canister, and then like dry ice, and
He
like
sells rings.
He sells rings, but it's like there's like elaborate, incredible. He's so good at his PR boxes.
Yeah.
it's so cool. So I don't know, probably that. There's
There's a company going around, or they're huge, called Nudes, and they printed they're a clothing company. They printed a newspaper article about Bella, and that's what the clothing was wrapped up in.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty epic. Yeah,
They like do funny stuff. They're like, breaking news, Bella was nude, or like, you know, like spelt like nudes.
Yeah.
Like,
That's-
like they do like
very,
funny stuff like that.
Good play on words.
Good play on
Very
words.
Creative.
Also, my friend Amber, her brand Day Hair, she does such great PR boxes. I get so excited. But one that I loved that I thought was so intentional was their signature scent is orange, like citrusy, and they freshly squeezed some orange juice and they like left it in this cute crate on my door with like their shampoo because it smells like the oranges, and it was just like fresh orange juice. I'm like, that's just like thoughtful.
You know what is also so genius about the brand doing that? You have to post that on your Instagram.
Exactly.
Exactly what I was getting to.
They don't pay you $1. They don't pay you anything to do that.
Yeah.
But how do you not?
I will
share
100%
that?
of the time post that because it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Right.
Like that's exactly why I asked you guys that, right? So like on the other end of it, right? If I'm a brand new brand and I have a list of my influencers that I want to send a PR box to, like
Yep.
don't just send the product in like a boring box,
No,
right?
no,
Like
it will never get to it.
put some intentionality behind your brand. And granted, like I know that this can be costly for a brand because I've been on this edge
Yeah, of
too.
course.
But even if it's like a personal note,
That's what I was just gonna say.
yeah,
When we would get notes that would say, just congratulations on whatever, or just anything personal.
Yeah.
It just made me want to use that brand and post about it.
Whenever there's a
that much more.
handwritten note, that always goes a long way. Like even if it's just in a boring box, like if there's a handwritten note, I'm like, oh, someone like took the time to write that because that takes time. It's nice.
Yeah. I think that's a really important thing. So whether you're like a huge company, a small company, and if you're going to do any sort of like PR boxes and like you want UGC from like influencers, it's like the intentionality behind it is so important.
Definitely.
Like, and I also like love a good unboxing experience, but I know that they are very costly. So I'm not saying like, oh my God, you got to go do that, but like just a little extra step.
Yeah.
it goes a long, long way.
And then you'll be more likely to talk about it and post about it.
There's also a brand really quick that's called Called to Surf. They send me a lot of PR boxes, and I think it's cute because their team members will take Polaroids while they're boxing it up, and then they'll write on the Polaroid like, "We love you, like hope you're having a great day, like this is us boxing it up." And I'm like, that's so cute.
Costs nothing.
Costs nothing, but it's like just like a little touch. I always get excited. I'm like, oh, how cute are they? Like boxing this up and sending this. Like that's so cute and thoughtful.
Totally.
Yeah. So point is, you want UGC, you got to put a little intentionality in it.
A little heart.
Yeah. That actually gave me some really good ideas for like my own influencer marketing suggestions too. So I appreciate that share. Okay, listen, I actually, for anybody who has made it this far, I've intentionally not mentioned this stuff, but Bella's a badass.
Oh my gosh.
Facts.
She is a badass.
I'm blushing.
I just want to point out that, and we're going to talk about this for a couple of minutes, because I actually want to point out Bella owns her own e-commerce brand.
I do.
And she started it when she was very young.
14, baby.
Tell us about Origami Owl.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So Origami Owl, man. So I'm 27 now, for some context. I've been doing this for a long time. I started Origami Owl, honestly, like, swear, just to make $2,000 to buy a used truck. I already had it picked out online. I was like, that's all I want. And I just started it out of my house. It's a customizable jewelry collection. We started with what we call living lockets. They're lockets that you fill with charms. And yeah, it kind of started a craze. I did not expect that to happen. And the brand grew very quickly. The name Origami Owl, because I'll just address the elephant in the room. I was 14. I picked like the two things that I loved in life at the time.
Origami and owls.
I had origami hanging in my room. I thought it was like the cutest thing. My friends and I would make origami, hang it up. And then I had an obsession with owls. I used to wear these like massive owl necklaces. And so I'm like, Origami Owl, great brand name, right? And so then it really just started something, and it's become my baby, you know? I mean, it's just been such a cool thing. I mean, I don't even know where to start with like talking about it, because there's so much, but it's been such a blessing, and I never could have expected it to take off like it did.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Well, I mean, we're coming towards the end of it. So like I purposely did this because I really wanted to talk about like the other side of influencer marketing, and leave room to talk about Bella being a baddie and owning this company. But the one thing that I did want to ask about, and you know, feel free, anybody reach out if you have more questions. But the one thing I wanted to ask about is like, what's so interesting is don't you have like a partnership with Disney?
Yes, we absolutely do. A licensing deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like so badass.
Well,
it was a long time in the works.
10 years of work to get that. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, the amount of vision boards I had to make for that one to become a reality is crazy. But yeah, we have a partnership with Disney. We also at one point every once in a while we'll work with Warner Brothers. Like, a highlight for me from the collections that we've done are Harry Potter collection, which was huge. Obviously Disney and Friends, Disney Princess. And then we did the Trolls movie and the Minions movie.
Oh, wow.
Which was so cool. And so I actually got to go to the Trolls red carpet when Trolls was first coming out. And that was like a highlight. I think I was like 18 when that came out. And it's just like so cool to see something that you create evolve and grow into what it has. Like, it's such a blessing. Like, I can't even explain to you how cool it is.
Yeah, I feel like we have to have a whole other episode with Jess.
I think part two. Part two. It's just so cool.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really badass, and I encourage everybody to look into Origami Owl, because it is a really, like, it's a badass story. Like, she literally created this when she was younger, and it's been becoming like the sustainable business that you know, they're not just creators, you know, like they're also business owners, you know, and they're doing like badass things. So we're gonna do a part 2.
Yeah, let's do it.
But on that note, I would love for you guys to plug yourselves a little bit and tell the audience where they can find you.
All right. Well, you can follow us on Instagram at Della Vlogs, or at Bella Grace Weems is my Instagram, and at Dallin Lambert is Dallin's Instagram.
Yep.
Or on TikTok, it's Dallin X Bella.
Yeah.
And then on YouTube,
you search Dallin and Bella, something.
It'll come up.
It might pull up. And then on YouTube, we're Della Vlogs, or we have a second channel, Della Vlogs 2, where we post other fun things.
I love it.
Check it out.
Yeah. Go comment, go see what's up to us. And
I will be sure to put it in the show notes, but I also really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you for having us.
We could be talking for 5 hours because
I really think so.
We have a lot to catch up on. I
we don't
know.
even get half of the notes out.
I know.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you guys coming on, and to everybody out there listening or watching, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week, or hear you next week, or you'll hear me. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey, wow, you made it to the end of the episode. That means that you like me and I like you, which also means you should subscribe to this show.